take this side and locate all my marks again like before. Pin it in each spot. Now this can be a little frustrating. One thing I found that with some of my bags that I've made, if they're very thick, sometimes I just sew around half of the bag at a time. I'll sew from, well, we're going to leave a gap at the bottom. So maybe I'd sew from here over to there, and then I'd do the pinning again, and sew from here to there. But I'm going to see if I can get this whole thing pinned. Now remember, we're going to try to keep this part tucked down. Match up these marks. And I'm going to pin all of these off camera. Okay, I've now pinned the whole thing. And yes, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I did it, and I left a gap at the bottom for opening. Sorry about the musical background. It's just a little soundtrack. Alright. So I'm going to start sewing here. Now, if I sew it the other way, I could sew... If I'd sewed it the other way, I could sew on my line. And sometimes that's helpful to do. Sometimes I like just sewing it this way. Get a fresh line. Oh, struggling a little bit with the bulk, the piping and all the edges. Number one priority tomorrow, buy better needles. Looks like I'm basting because I keep skipping stitches. Now you can kind of see here the zipper wants to poke up. It wants to poke up and get in the way of the seam. Sorry, it's black on black. So you just have to make sure that as you're sewing, you're pushing that down. Push that zipper down. Alright, the edges, they're not fun, but it's a little easier because you've already sewn the zipper on, so you just go right over your previous work. It's not quite as fiddly, I think, as the first time around. It's just bulky. And the zipper likes to pop up. Okay, push down, little zipper. Nope, that's not. Sorry, trying to keep my clips from my 18-month-old. He thinks they're the funnest thing. So the important part for this step, take it slow. Hand feed it if you need to. Constantly adjust, even if you have it pinned really tightly. You're going to have to constantly adjust your fabric. Here I've made it almost to the end. And whew, one side is done. So now I can trim off these rounded edges and turn it right side out. But first I'm going to try to fix some of these skip stitches. Okay, so I'm going to trim off these edges, just all the rounded edges. I'm going to turn this right side out. This can be a little bit frustrating. Sorry, I feel like I keep using that word a lot. Maybe I should be more excited. This is fun! And believe me, I thought of some different methods to try to make this whole process easier. Okay, so we've got ourselves, this is open to this point. Or sorry, this is sewn to this point. And this bottom part is open. We're going to leave it like that. When we get to the very end, we're going to turn it back and put in the side piece if you would like to have a side interfacing in. But right now we really don't need it because it'll make the next step harder. So you've got it to this point. Now keep turning it. And there you get to see one finished side. Looks much better from this side, huh? This will be for my daughter, so I embroidered a K for her. Okay. So we have the finished side and the unfinished side. I'm going to trim a thread. And we are going to do, I'm going to zip up this side now that we're done with that. We are going to do the exact same thing we just did, but with this side A this side A and this side of the purse. So start off, unzip it, turn everything like this. And we're going to start over and do the exact same thing that we just did with this side.